Imagine discovering that something you do every single week in your own kitchen, something you do specifically because you are trying to be practical, trying to save money, trying not to waste food, is quietly and systematically creating the conditions for one of the deadliest cancers in the human body without you ever knowing it. Does that sound extreme? Unfortunately, it is not. There is a habit that hundreds of millions of people repeat every single week without giving it a second thought: reheating leftovers. And the truth about what happens inside 5 very specific foods the second time heat touches them is something that most people will go their entire lives without ever being told. In the next few minutes, I am going to show you exactly which 5 foods are the most dangerous to reheat, what they are chemically turning into inside your body when you press that button, and why that transformation connects directly to one of the cancers with the lowest survival rates in all of modern medicine: pancreatic cancer. Here is what you need to understand before we begin. Your pancreas never warns you. It does not hurt when it is being damaged. It does not swell. It does not send you a single signal while the damage is quietly building up inside it across months and years of the wrong daily habits. By the time you feel something wrong enough to go to a doctor, the cancer has, in the overwhelming majority of cases, already spread beyond the point where anything meaningful can be done. The 5-year survival rate is under 12%. That number is why everything I am about to show you matters so much, because at least 3 of these 5 foods are sitting in your refrigerator right now, at this exact moment, waiting to be reheated tonight. 1. Fried foods and cooking oils. Think about those crispy golden fries left over from last night, the ones you covered up and told yourself you would finish tomorrow. That fried chicken you carefully wrapped in aluminum foil because throwing it away felt like a waste. That leftover spring roll sitting forgotten in the corner of your fridge. What do you do the next day? You probably toss it in the microwave, or even worse, you heat a little fresh oil in the pan to crisp it back up again. It is exactly at that moment that you activate a chemical process inside that food that your pancreas has almost no defense against. And here is the part that almost nobody ever tells you. Cooking oils, specifically the ones most people have sitting on their kitchen shelf right now, sunflower oil, corn oil, soybean oil, are highly unstable under heat. When you heat them a second time, they undergo deep oxidative breakdown. That process generates a class of toxic compounds called aldehydes. When these oils are reheated, the free radicals they release are like hundreds of sparks flying off an out-of-control fire. Each one small, flying randomly in every direction, landing on your healthy cells, destroying them from the inside, including the DNA that tells each cell how to grow, when to stop, and when to die the way it is supposed to. When that code is corrupted enough times, the cell stops following instructions. It starts multiplying when it should not. That is how cancer begins. Your pancreas is one of the most vulnerable organs to this specific type of attack. When you eat food loaded with these aldehyde compounds, your body triggers a full inflammatory response to try to contain the damage. But if you are eating reheated fried food multiple times a week, your body never gets to turn that inflammatory response off. A permanently inflamed pancreas is a pancreas trying to do delicate precision work inside a burning building. Every enzyme it tries to produce, every signal it tries to send, all of it happening inside a chemical war zone it was never designed to survive in. Eventually, it cannot keep up, and when it stops keeping up, you do not get a warning. You simply get a diagnosis. The rule is absolute and non-negotiable. Never reheat fried food in oil. Not fresh oil, not the same oil. Never. Use a dry oven at 180 degrees or an air fryer. Dry heat brings back the texture without creating a single drop of new chemical damage. And frying oil is single use only. You fry today, you throw it away today. 2. Cooked leafy greens reheated. Picture a Sunday evening. You cook a beautiful pan of sautéed spinach with garlic and olive oil. Deep green, wilted to perfection. You feel genuinely good about yourself. You are eating healthily. You are doing exactly what you are supposed to do. You put the leftovers in a container in the fridge. Monday at lunch, you take them out and microwave them for 90 seconds. It smells exactly the same, looks exactly the same, tastes exactly the same. And while you are eating it, that second round of heat has just triggered a chemical reaction inside that spinach that the World Health Organization has officially linked to cancer risk. Here is what is happening inside that container. All leafy greens, spinach, kale, Swiss chard, arugula, all of them contain naturally occurring compounds called nitrates. Fresh, they are completely harmless. Zero problem. But when you cook these vegetables and let them sit, bacteria naturally present in the food begin converting those harmless nitrates into something called nitrites. And when you apply heat a second time, those nitrites react with amino acids in the food and form compounds called nitrosamines. The International Agency for Research on Cancer classifies nitrosamines as probable human carcinogens, and they are genotoxic, meaning they go directly inside the nucleus of your cells and damage your DNA, not from the outside, but from within the genetic machinery itself. Once nitrosamines enter your bloodstream after that reheated spinach, they travel to every organ your blood reaches, and the pancreas is called into the detoxification effort repeatedly, week after week, bathing in genotoxic compounds while simultaneously being pushed into chronic biochemical stress. The solution is straightforward. Eat your cooked greens cold. Cold cooked spinach in a grain bowl, tossed into a salad, folded into a wrap. Every nutrient is still there. Zero nitrosamine formation because there is no second heat. If you need them warm, only cook what you are going to eat right now, not a batch for the week, just this one meal. And if you do reheat, once only. Each additional heating cycle multiplies nitrosamine formation. That is not a metaphor, that is chemistry. 3. Cooked rice that has been stored. Think about the pot of rice you made a few days ago. You made a large batch because it is easier that way. You have been reheating portions of it every day. This is completely normal. Every household on the planet does this. And hidden inside that rice, from the exact moment it stopped cooking and started cooling, a biological process has been quietly unfolding that most people have never once been warned about. Allow me to introduce you to a bacterium called Bacillus cereus. This organism is present in raw rice from any supermarket anywhere in the world. Cooking kills the active bacteria, but it does not kill the spores. A spore is a hardened biological survival structure that certain bacteria produce specifically to survive conditions that would otherwise kill them. Boiling water cannot destroy them. Normal cooking temperatures cannot touch them. They sit dormant in your perfectly cooked rice, completely invisible, completely undetectable by any smell or taste, waiting for the temperature to drop into their ideal multiplication range, which is exactly the temperature of your kitchen counter as that rice cools after cooking. The moment the temperature drops, those spores wake up, they multiply, they produce toxins. And here is the detail that matters most. One of those toxins is heat stable. When you microwave that rice the next day, you kill the live bacteria. But the toxin they already produced while they were multiplying, your microwave does not touch it. It survives the reheating completely intact and enters your body in full working order. The connection to your pancreas is this: repeated low-level exposure to these toxins, even without dramatic full-blown food poisoning every time, creates chronic low-grade inflammation throughout your gut. And science has clearly mapped what researchers call the gut-pancreas axis. Your gut and your pancreas share blood supply, lymphatic drainage, and inflammatory signaling pathways. A chronically inflamed gut sends those inflammatory signals directly to your pancreas every single time, without exception. The solution: cool cooked rice within 1 hour of cooking. Spread it wide and shallow, not piled deep. More surface area means faster cooling, which means less time for those spores to activate. Eat it within 24 hours. Reheat it fully until steaming hot all the way through. Then eat it completely. Do not put it back in the fridge after reheating once. 4. Chicken and meat reheated in the microwave. You made roasted chicken thighs last night, golden and perfectly cooked all the way through. You saved them in a container in the fridge. Today at lunchtime, you put 2 pieces on a plate, microwave them for 2 minutes, touch the outside, it feels hot, and you eat. This is a completely normal Tuesday in millions of homes. And the way that reheating happened, microwave, 2 minutes, touch check on the outside, is exactly where the danger lives. Here is something most people do not know. A microwave does not heat food the way an oven does. It excites water molecules inside the food to generate heat. But different parts of the same piece of chicken have different water content, different density, different fat distribution. Some parts reach temperatures that kill bacteria. Other parts, just centimeters away, stay at exactly the temperature where bacteria not only survive but actively multiply. These are called cold spots. You cannot see them. You cannot feel them from the outside. The outside can be scorching hot while the center is sitting at the precise temperature that dangerous bacteria prefer. Two bacteria make this specifically terrifying with chicken: Salmonella and Campylobacter. Both are present in raw poultry at very high rates. Proper initial cooking eliminates them, but recontamination after cooking is entirely possible on your hands, on the counter, on utensils. And those cold spots in your microwave reheated chicken are warm, moist, protein-rich environments, not death zones for bacteria, but incubators. The solution: use the oven at 175 degrees, covered tightly with aluminum foil, for 15 to 20 minutes. The trapped moist heat reaches every part uniformly. No cold spots anywhere. If you must use a microwave, cut the chicken into small uniform pieces, use medium rather than maximum power, stop halfway through and rearrange everything, then let it rest covered for 2 full minutes after heating. 5. Cooked and reheated potatoes. Think about the roasted potatoes from last Sunday. Perfect, golden, crispy on the outside, fluffy on the inside. You made a whole tray. Monday evening, you take them out, toss them in a pan with a little oil to crisp them back up, and eat them feeling resourceful. And right now, inside those potatoes, two completely independent chemical processes are attacking your pancreas from two entirely different angles at the exact same time. The first attack comes from a compound called acrylamide. The International Agency for Research on Cancer classifies it as a probable human carcinogen. It forms when starchy foods are exposed to temperatures above 120 degrees. That golden color you love on a perfectly roasted potato, that crispiness, that is the Maillard reaction, and acrylamide forms as part of that exact same process. When a potato is cooked once and then refrigerated, its surface dries out. Sugars and amino acids concentrate at that dry surface. When you apply high heat a second time, the chemical conditions for acrylamide formation are more favorable than they were during the first cooking. You may actually be getting a meaningfully higher carcinogen load from your reheated potatoes than from the original meal. The second attack exhausts your pancreas in a way that compounds silently over years. When potatoes are cooked and then completely cooled in the refrigerator, something remarkable happens. Part of the regular starch inside converts into resistant starch, which moderates your blood sugar, slows glucose absorption, and feeds beneficial gut bacteria. A cold cooked potato is metabolically a completely different food than a hot one. The moment you reheat that potato at high heat, that resistant starch converts back into regular, rapidly digested starch. The beneficial transformation that happened during cooling is destroyed in 90 seconds in your microwave. What was gentle on your blood sugar is now a spike. And who responds to that spike? Your pancreas, specifically the beta cells that produce insulin, forced into a sudden, large, urgent release. Once, completely normal. But 3 times a week, every week for years, those beta cells are being driven into repeated emergency production events. They exhaust. They become less responsive. And progressive beta cell exhaustion is a documented pathway toward the chronic conditions that precede pancreatic cancer. 2 attacks at the same time, every single time you reheat those potatoes. The solution: eat your cooked potatoes cold whenever you possibly can. Cold potato salad with good olive oil, a little vinegar, and fresh herbs. If you need them warm, steam them or use the lowest heat that simply takes the chill off. Warm, not hot, and never ever refry an already cooked potato. We have now gone through all 5. And before you close this video, I need to tell you something that matters more than all the information we just covered. If you have been doing these things for years, it is not too late. The human body has a capacity for recovery that genuinely humbles me. Chronic inflammation can come down. Damaged cells are constantly replaced by new ones. The conditions we discussed are not a sentence, they are a starting point. And every better choice you make from this moment forward moves you in the right direction. What I am asking you to carry out of this video today is not fear. Fear paralyzes. What I am asking you to carry is the specific practical knowledge that lets you make one different choice tonight. When you open that refrigerator, fried food, reheat it dry in an oven or air fryer, never in oil. Leafy greens, eat them cold or cook only what you need right now. Rice, cool it fast, refrigerate within the hour, eat it within 24 hours. Chicken, oven not microwave, or eat it cold. Potatoes cold whenever you can, or gentle low heat. Small habits practiced consistently over months and years. Your pancreas has been working for you in complete silence every single day of your life, never once asking for anything in return. It is time to start giving something back. If this video gave you something real today, think of one person you love right now. Send them this video immediately, not tomorrow, right now. That might be the most important thing you do today. Take care of yourselves.